Welcome back to another episode of The Ordinary Experience. We have the second episode of Real Talk with V. And today I wanted to discuss doubt. Over the course of this week, while working my 9 to 5 job and trying to create content, I've experienced doubt on whether this is the right thing for me to do, whether putting content and documenting what I want to document in public is the right way of making a living, or the right way to proceed in society, proceed in my life. And it's difficult because, or at least I find it difficult because you put stuff out in the world, right? And it goes into this big, black, dark hole, this pit, this endless pit that everyone's throwing stuff into, and you don't hear back. There's no feedback always. Like, I don't get many people commenting on my posts. I don't get a huge amount of engagement on my posts, even though I'm trying to peddle it. And I sit back and I think to myself, not woe is me, but why is my content not connecting with people? Is it not touching people's souls like I want it to? And what can I do differently? But this week just must have been tired, and it just really got to me. The whole lack of engagement, lack of real engagement. I don't have any random people reaching out and saying to me, you know what, you've inspired me. And maybe that's partly because it could be because of the content isn't doing that, even though I think it should be. It's just the expectation I have of it. But it's difficult. It's difficult to try and create art. And I think that's what people forget to say, that you are turning an idea, this concept within your mind, and you're turning that into a real thing that people can touch, people can view, people can listen to. But that's supposed to, in our society right now, seem to be easy because everyone's doing it. So you think it's easy. It's not. I can tell you it's not. Editing takes a hell of a long time. Videoing takes a hell of a long time. And getting to a point where you're sufficient in all of that so that you're able to put together a video, a video that's going to touch people and inform people and entertain people in a day is a lot of work. And I'm not there yet. I'll openly say I'm not there yet. There's still a lot of work to be done, and every day's a learning curve. But damn, it just takes up so much of your time, and it's so mentally draining sometimes, even though I love what I do. But like I said, doubt this week and this endless pit that I've been throwing my content into, I lost 4 followers on Friday. And for some reason, today. And for some reason that affected me. Usually it doesn't, it's like currency valuations. Followers go up and down and whatever. But I don't know, I looked at it and I thought, what am I doing different? What am I doing wrong? How can I do it better? And that led to the question of, am I doing the right thing? Is this the right path to take? And it was a couple moments after that. I meditated on that thought for a moment, and I thought, this is good. Doubt is good. This is a good moment for me because I can realign, and I can remember why I started this whole thing in the first place. And that is to help aid, teach, inform, entertain people, to allow them to become the best versions of themselves. And that's my anchor. That's always been the anchor. I do it through this. I do it through a podcast. I do it through a YouTube channel. I do it through blogging, writing articles, whatever you want to call it. I do it through conversation. That's my way of doing it. I don't teach in the traditional form. I don't speak in the traditional form of public speaking. This is my way of doing it. So it takes a moment sometimes that you've got to believe in yourself, and you've got to realign with your values, or that core value, you might want to call it. I don't particularly like to use the word purpose because I think it's a difficult word to explain to people. But in essence, it would be a purpose. something that anchors you to the goal, something that you can always revert to when you get lost along the path. For me, as I've just mentioned, that is helping people become the best versions of themselves, helping people become 1% better each day. And if I can do that, and if I can put some good out into the world and with good intentions, I know the right energy will come back. It will. It just takes time. Changing the world is like a podcast. In a podcast I just listened to, it is not a sprint; it's a marathon. Changing people is not a sprint; it's a marathon. You can't change someone in the course of a day. You've got habits that built up over years, decades. You can't change that in a single moment. Sometimes you can. You get freak moments like that, but other times it takes a while. I know for me, an example of that would be yoga. I practice the traditional form of yoga, the what is considered to be stretching, but it took me some time to adapt to it and come to the realization that it's more than stretching. It's so much more than that. It took 3 months for me to realize, and it took 3 months and reading a book twice to get me to a point where I was like, actually, I understand now. I understand why I need to do this. So I will continue to be putting out content. I will continue to be trying to do my part of trying to allow people to lead the best version of their lives, to be the best version of themselves, to live better lives in a way. But my core centers around being the best version of yourself. And if anyone has anything that they like to say to me around that regarding, how I could potentially be doing better, what to consider, stuff like that, I'd love to hear that. I'd love to be able to take that feedback on board, because I'm constantly trying to learn. I'm constantly trying to be better every single day. Sometimes you flake, sometimes you don't show up, and sometimes that consistency isn't there, but it's always at the back of my mind, and I'm very aware of the decisions I make and whether I choose to or not choose to. And sure, it should become a habit, and it should over time become just, natural. And it will, but you've got to give it time. It's not going to happen overnight. And you have to enjoy that process of building content, building an audience, connecting with people, and it will come in time. I mean, like, I've reached out to some YouTubers, I've reached out to individuals that have podcasts, and you look at their success or their version of success, and you think, and I'm very much the type of person right now where I'm not jealous of it. I'm so happy for those individuals, but I do question myself sometimes and think, well, why aren't you there yet? You're doing the same as them in a way. You've started from similar positions. Why aren't you at that point? I want the best for them, right? I don't care whether you're my, quote unquote friend or not. I still want to see you succeed in whatever your definition of success is. And someday our stars will align. I mean, you meet a huge number of people, and I guess I can't keep doing that to myself, where I not compare, but I ask myself the question of, why aren't you there yet? Because it's just an endless answer of, well, because of this, because of that, because of this, because of X, Y, Z, A, B, C. So just go easy on yourself, Viraj. Just find the time to break down what you think you're doing wrong and how you can get better. Sure, I've got to learn from each video. I understand that my YouTube is still going through those kind of early pains, but it will come. I believe in myself. I believe in my will, my motivation, whatever you want to call it. I will get to the point where I am able to do this as a full-time job. I am able to touch people's lives. I'm able to change people's direction slightly for the better, of whatever their definition of better is, and help them become the best versions of themselves, and they can take whatever information they want. That's my goal. That's my North Star. That's my purpose, whatever you want to call it. That's why I get up in the morning, and that's why I'm doing a 9 to 5 that I don't particularly like, and just to enjoy would probably be the better word. I don't particularly enjoy, so that I can fund this, and I can try and leave my little impact on the world and do my bit for society, do my bit for myself, more than that, actually. And plus, it's just so goddamn fun, so goddamn fun. The people you meet, as I said, all walks of life, absolutely all walks of life, and everyone's got a story to tell, everyone's got experiences to share, and those experiences turn into articles, that turn into YouTube videos, that turn into potentially podcast topics. And I love that. Absolutely love that. For instance, I was just talking to a really good friend of mine, Ade, who called me on the day I started my first job, my first long-term contract, which is this job. And on today as well, like I said, I'm feeling doubt, feeling like, why am I not getting any feedback? He sat down and he talked to me on the phone. He broke down what he liked about my YouTube videos, my latest one, and he broke down the bits where I could have done better. And I just love it. I absolutely love it. When someone says they've enjoyed my work, it is the biggest compliment ever. I'm not sure if I'll ever get over that. Maybe. I hope I don't, because it's such a powerful feeling where someone's taken the time to watch something of yours in whole and can pick out key moments that you've put work into. Like, for instance, in my latest video, there are images, videos of a younger version of me, a younger me, and he was pointing them out and saying, "I love the way you were able to just, so seamlessly fit them into the video." And I'm just like, yes, someone noticed. Someone noticed. Thank you. Thank you. Honestly, it's just perfect, man. Makes my day, warms my heart, puts a smile on my face. Yeah. Some updates on the YouTube. We are in the process of building a YouTube and podcasting studio. So I'm looking forward to being able to deliver some more high quality content around podcasting, also for the YouTube as well. And I can't wait to start on that journey and building that studio as well. I also wanted to talk about hobbies. I recently picked up a hobby of mine, a new hobby of mine, pottery. And I've been writing about this on my Twitter today. And I was thinking to myself, this hobby is so far removed from, my normal interests that you wouldn't even expect me to be a potter, I think is the male pottery person. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. But the enjoyment I got out of it was just out of this world. The clay is not this stagnant energy. The clay is living when it's spinning. There's a beautiful mind clay connection, body clay connection that can't really be explained unless you sit there and you're watching it spin in your hands and you're molding it. It's turning this heap of, brown stuff, Play-Doh almost lookalike stuff, into a beautiful vase or a mug or a bowl or a dish or a, item that you can then give to someone or you can keep and it be a part of your life. There's something really raw and kind of instinctual about it in a way. It's hard to describe. I'm definitely going to keep it up. And I think that finding hobbies outside your comfort zone, hobbies that push you to learn new things, use different sides of your brain, that add to your arsenal of different skills and abilities, make you think in different ways, allow you to be a better person, allow you to be more creative, allow you to troubleshoot problems better. Because thinking about pottery, because you're thinking about things in a 3D environment, you have to consider the item you're making. And I'm just a novice. This is the first time I've ever done pottery in my life. And I was able to make a bowl and I was able to make a mug with a built-in coaster. And there's this beauty to it. I'd give it a go. Like, just for the fun of it, when we get out of lockdown, I'd give it a go. And it's an amazing experience when you're just one with the clay. You sit down, this bowl this plate is spinning in front of you and you're molding it with your hands. And there is something, as I said, raw in that. There's something that's so hard to describe, but it's so right. It's just so right. And you look at your finished product and you think to yourself, I built something here. I've turned this lump of clay into something tangible, something that is an artwork almost, something that I can use. And I don't know why that seems like such a novelty to me, but it is. Maybe it's because I produce stuff that you can't touch, you can only listen to or you can watch. And I can't, wrap my hands around it and feel it. But with this, there was a feeling element. There was a tangibility to it, if that's a word. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It added to, like I said, I was going to add it to my arsenal of hobbies that don't suit my personality. And I'm going to try and sort of keep it on the low until I'm asked about it, because I think it's nice to surprise people from time to time. Again, I practice radical transparency, so if people do ask, I'll tell them, but it's not something I'm going to hide. Definitely something I'm looking forward to diving deeper into and understanding the space more, because one, I think it's cool. I'd love to be able to create stuff, and two, I think it's fun, and that's all you really need when you're starting a hobby, just a curiosity. And as long as it puts a smile on your face and you're not hurting anyone, I think that's a great idea. I think I'll leave it there today. A nice, short, sweet episode. Thank you for listening. And I hope that this brings a little bit of hope to someone out there that's putting out content and doubts themselves sometime, and another person that, is starting a new hobby and just wants to talk about it with someone. So I hope you're listening, and I hope you can resonate with this. As always, it's a pleasure, and I'll see you soon.